So I received a request from a customer recently asking about, can we deploy and manage Power BI and Fabric through Terraform and CI/CD processes? And it sparked a bit of a conversation around, well, actually, there's two different dynamics here at play. So I wanted to relay just a brief overview of that to you in this video. Hi, my name is Peter, and I help clients understand their journey around data, analytics, and AI, particularly with the Microsoft ecosystem. So I wanted to touch on the differences between what I call service provisioning and then content lifecycle management. This applies in Power BI and also with Microsoft Fabric as well. And there's two distinct ways we think about that. So let's talk about service provisioning. So let's talk about service provisioning. Now, service provisioning in a cloud world is largely talked around infrastructure as code. So how do we build our environments, maintain our environments, configure our environments using code to do that? Now, you can do that with Power BI and Fabric. Certainly, there's a lot more abilities in Fabric as a Azure native service, but you can do it, at least configure Power BI really well with code as well. And it's primarily for cloud infrastructure and operations teams. So these are the people who are responsible for the underpinning service around that. Now, in the context of Fabric and Power BI, there may be inputs or configurations that need to be brought in together from the data team or analytics team, wherever that case may be. But certainly it's that cloud infrastructure and operations team that generally have responsibility for service provisioning. And it uses something like Azure DevOps in terms of a repository to store and manage that code configuration, and then deployment pipelines to then provision that. And there's a range of tools you can use. Started off with things like ARM templates and using desired state configurations. You can use PowerShell scripts. There's also other products like Terraform, Bicep to help you do that. So that's really in that land of how do we help provision and then manage that service. So let's now look at content lifecycle management. Now, content lifecycle management pertains to all of the things we care about inside of, say, Power BI or Fabric. It is the data sets and the reports. And there might be things like pipelines or notebooks as well. And it's really for that development team. And I really mean here that the developers or the data engineers that are involved with producing anything around that, the data workloads, bringing them in, transformations, preparing data sets, modeling, machine learning notebooks, and then reports as well, and everything in between that I may have missed. And it allows them, on top of the service, to manage all that content. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do that, and I'm not going into too much detail in this video, but certainly out of the box you have what are called either Power BI deployment pipelines or Fabric deployment pipelines. And they're a lightweight way to manage deployments between, say, a dev, test, and production workspaces. And it's built into the platform. And it's a way to do development once it's verified, then push that across into those other environments. That's a good way to get started. If you have a more enterprise scale or a capability already around this, you can integrate with Git repository and using Azure DevOps and deployment pipelines for a full CI/CD experience to manage that deployment pathway. And you can use a range of options you may already have in place or practices you have in place to be able to do that. So there's a lot of flexibility for that development experience on top of the platform itself. So hopefully this was informative to just give you the understanding of what a service provisioning looks like and the content lifecycle management. And you think about that as two distinct parts of the operations that you need to worry about, the cloud operations and management, as well as in the operations of the development team as well. And there's lots of information online about that for those sets of users, and you may be a small organization and you're all doing all of that, but there's lots of materials available and to allow you to then use code base to manage your infrastructure, your services, as well as then all the data reports and the like that go into things like Fabric and Power BI. If you found this video helpful, please press that like button. That helps let me know of the type of content that you're interested in, and be sure to subscribe for other updates as I release them.